But if you go like, I want to make money in this way because of the impact, because of the benefit I know it's going to have in my world, for the growth, for the sense of accomplishment, you realize that gives you so much more meaning along the way and gives you a reason to take the steps, and that you're not just going to have to wait until it's quote unquote done or finished. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Today, I'm going to share with you two things you absolutely must do so that you don't waste another year. So with that, welcome. Welcome to 2025. If you are watching this right as it's coming out, this is the first show of the new year. And if you're like many people, you might have looked back on 2024 or whatever the previous year was, and maybe you're a little disappointed, like, oh man, I didn't do everything that I wanted to, or I missed some stuff, or I fell short. If you've been watching the show, listening to the show, or following me for quite a while, you've probably learned a lot of the techniques that I teach, so that you probably are feeling pretty good and you're just like, how do I make this year even better than the one before? So whether you're new or whether you've been here a long time, these two things I'm going to share with you are going to have a huge impact on your upcoming year. And so if you haven't done them already, I'm going to say do these as quickly as you can. Just like get on it. Like anything else that you've maybe quote unquote resolved to do, done a New Year's resolution for, if you do these two things, it's gonna make anything that you wanted happen quicker, faster, better. And who doesn't want that? Don't you want things easier, faster, better, and with more joy, more ease, more love, like I talk about in, my book here? And I will say that I'm going to give you enough so that you can just do it right here. But if you do want like a little bit more info or more explanation of stuff, this is like stuff that's from a couple of chapters in Engineered to Love, Going Beyond Success to Fulfillment. So I do hope you had a wonderful, wonderful end of the year with good holidays and a good New Year's celebration. I know I had, a really good, quiet time where I it was really a lot of quiet reflection, a lot of looking back and just noticing what happened. And so, without further ado, the two things that you must do so that this ends up being the best year you've ever had is, and I'm going to suggest you do it in this order, is one, do an inventory of all the awesomeness from last year. And the second thing, and I'm going to tell you all about how you do that, because you might just be like, well, okay, easy. You said that, it's not. It's actually probably challenging because you're probably really successful, because you're probably always looking for ways to do better and see where you've fallen short. And the second thing is going to be basically you want to resolve on how you want to feel in this upcoming year and what you want to experience. I don't care what the fuck it is that you want to do, whether it's you want to lose 10 pounds, 100 pounds, double your income, get married. Honestly, it comes down to it. None of that stuff actually matters. What matters is how you feel as you're doing it when you get to the end result. And so if you don't know how you're going to feel, why you want to feel, or why you want to experience it, then I think maybe that's why some of the stuff hasn't happened yet, because you don't even know what you're going to get when you're in the pursuit, or if you even get it. So the first thing is the awesomeness of the previous year. Imagine a young boy. She really wants to do well. Why do I mix the genders? Because it doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't. This could be you. This could be me. This could be any child. Any child. They're good. They really want to do well in this world. So they're always, wanting to, do what their parent tells them to do. Wanting to, learn how to help around the house and, learn and grow in school and all these other things. Yet they're a child, like maybe they're 5 to 7 years old. And so it's their first time for so many things. And so they make mistakes. Could you imagine if no one ever told that child the things that they did right? Would they ever move on to attempting something new, or would they just keep going like, I guess I fucked that up again. I gotta figure out how to ride this bike. I don't think I quite got it right. Or I guess I'm gonna just have to keep trying to figure out this 2 + 2 = 4 nonsense, because I guess I never get it right. You would never do that to a child, never let them know like when they did something successfully or something was great, right? Yet how often are you treating yourself in this very abusive way where you never give yourself credit for all the amazing stuff that you've actually done, or you don't give yourself credit for, maybe the exercise you did do, for the relationships that ended yet freed you up to make new ones, or maybe you had some big challenges and yeah, maybe you didn't get to where you wanted to be, but shit, you really didn't go backsliding as much as you could have, or maybe you have done, or maybe you've seen other people do. So going through your year and just kind of having that detached, loving parent view, and you can even like as you go through and write it, like this person, they went on a vacation to a place they had never gone before, right? This is really good. And I find one of the easiest ways to do this is I go through my calendar for the previous year. So just start, the first week of January and use all everything, in my calendar to jog my memory of, who I met and then maybe who now I'm no longer meeting, what events I went to, what vacations, what I did for business. And just let that sort of jog your memory and just start giving yourself credit, writing down all the cool things you did in business, in your personal life, health-wise, food, travel, vacations, or even just books you've read, maybe things that you've written. And also you get to give yourself credit for doing this exercise, right? That's something awesome. So give yourself credit for all the amazing things. I'm gonna be surprised if you don't have an entire page of stuff. Again, you want to pretend like you are just the most loving, caring parent and look at what this beautiful, beautiful person did this past year. And you want to praise them and give them credit, and that person is you. And that this is going to make the second thing that you absolutely must do so that you don't waste another year so much easier. Because once you've realized all that you've done, all that you've accomplished, can't you imagine how much easier it is to build off of that, of what you want to experience and how you want to feel? And it's really important to just simply, even if you've already written out like a bunch of outcomes you want to have or a bunch of resolutions, to really just go like, well, how do you expect to feel, or how would you like to feel if that resolution was done? Like you lose a bunch of weight. Like, do you realize that if you don't assign how you're going to feel because of that, and you have unconsciously that eating food, I feel good, not eating food, I feel like shit, and you don't put in that, wait, I'm going to feel so accomplished as I change my habits and I'm going to feel proud of myself. If you don't put that in, that you are fucked. You are never going to get the result that you went for. And it's like, oh, maybe you want to do something in business and you realize your subconscious knows there's a ton of ways to make money. And if you're saying like, I want to do something in business, that subconsciously you've got as, oh, this is like worse than being tortured, it's going to go, well, we're not going to do that. You want money, we're going to find other ways to get money. But if you go like, I want to make money in this way because of the impact, because of the benefit I know it's going to have in my world, for the growth, for the sense of accomplishment. Do you realize that gives you so much more meaning along the way and gives you a reason to take the steps? And that you're not just going to have to wait until it's quote unquote done or finished. You're going to start to get these feelings every little teeny step you make. And that's going to be the fuel that gets you to make progress and to get to completion on a lot of these things. And experiences are big as well. So not just, oh, I need to stop this habit, or I need to like make this much money, or I need to do this or that or whatever, but like maybe there's something that like you want to just have an experience, right? Like you want to go on a trip, you want to experience what it's like to be near a volcano, or you want to experience what's it like to, get married, right? Like what if it wasn't about like, oh, because that's what I'm supposed to do. Really became like, I want to have the experience of commitment and see what it's like to really work through something, right? Really thinking about what it is you're trying to get out of these activities. So they're not just activities, they're a means to have feelings, emotions, and experiences. So the two things, like these are so powerful yet so simple. So the first, remember, is you go back through the previous year, and I suggest you use calendar and you write down how awesome you were in the previous year. Go through all the things that you've done, and then maybe it's like you go clean up some emails, or like you start tidying around the house, whatever starts triggering these memories. Create a list and write it down, and just add to it of like, oh my gosh, like I wrote a book. Or I mean, that's one of the things that I've done. Right, I had that, I did a revision with an editor. One of the true things. Or like, oh my gosh, like I completely changed the way that I eat. I now no longer have dairy. Again, something that I did that's really fucking awesome, and it's really changed my life. There's probably so many things that you forgot that you've done. And yes, there are going to be some things you didn't do, yet when you look at it through this lens, it's like, oh my gosh, I got so much more. I'm so grateful that I didn't get the things that I wanted because I got even more. That's how I usually end up, because I always do write down like, here's what I would like to happen in the next year. And it's kind of fun to compare what happened with what I intended the year later, and kind of see like, oh, actually, really got even more. If I'd gotten it the way I thought I would have, that kind of would not have been as full of an experience. Yeah, when I look at, the emotions, the feelings, the experiences, I always end up getting that or more. And I want you to get what you want or more. And so with these two tools, it's going to make this the best year you've ever experienced. And so if you have any questions about it, like send me a note. Again, the book Engineer to Love, Going Beyond Success to Fulfillment, it has a couple chapters that are very similar to this. If you want to work one-on-one, reach out to me through the email and through the social medias that are coming up once I end the show, and are, part of the show notes and whatnot. So looking forward to another phenomenal year. If you're watching this on YouTube, you get to see my, sparkle, shiny, celebratory coat. If you're listening, you can't see that, but you can see it in your mind's eye. And then maybe check it out later, and let me know, like, did it match? But yeah, I think this is going to be an incredible year. Will it be easy? Maybe not. Can it be more easeful? Absolutely. And with these two techniques, you're gonna really enjoy it. So with that, thank you so much, and good day. Thanks for tuning in to Engineering Emotions and Energy with Justin Wink, Ph.D. Today's episode resonated with you? Please subscribe and leave a 5-star review. Your feedback not only supports the show, but also helps others find us and start their journey of emotional and energetic mastery. You can also help by sharing this podcast with someone you think will love it just as much as you do. Together, we're engineering more amazing lives.